This is the Yes Network right here. Phantom Acts of Kindness hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level, and they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East. The Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man, big fan.
It's good. 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 Mic check. Mic check. Let me get a little more light in here. Mic check. Got my headphones. Got my mic. Light up. Okay. Ah. My white LED lights are not on phone control. They are on a manual control that I need to set up closer to me. All right, we're good. In there. Okay, so Aaron Boone just spoke. The biggest takeaway from Aaron Boone speaking: everybody's healthy. Everybody is healthy. Most of the people that were, worried about this press conference were worried that he was going to report some injuries. So let me throw that banner up. Create banner. The Yankees are all healthy outside of like Garrett Cole coming back, Rodon coming back, Clark Schmidt coming back. That's great news. That's great news. Unfinished business tour. Finish the job 2026. AKA bring it back. Bring it, run it back. Hi, Yankees girl. Chris Gomez, salute. Let's go, Yankees. Let's go, Yankees. Happy New Year's Eve, my brother Ray. You my man. I'm gonna put you on game. New Year's Eve for the Bleacher Creatures. It is a new year for spring training, but New Year's Eve for us is opening day. New Year's Eve will be Thursday, April 2nd. So that is when we say Happy New Year. That is when we kick off the new season, and the new season doesn't start until the stadium is open. You good? Yeah, I'm good. What's up? I'm queuing up some stuff right now from the press conference. I'm queuing up some stuff right now from Aaron Boone and whatnot. Yeah, so let's do this. We'll just go to Yankees videos, and I'll share my screen, and we'll start there in case anybody missed it. But I'm assuming if you guys are all online streaming right now, you saw. But let's do it. Headphones. Check. And let's go. Right here, sharing screen. Year 9 of Aaron Boone, Yankees manager Aaron Boone, says that the Yankees are healthy coming into spring training.
Aaron, did all pitchers and catchers report today as expected?
Yes, as far as I know, I haven't gotten any of the obviously final reports, but it doesn't sound like we're missing anyone. And frankly, I think probably had 80-90% of our guys that have been here for a while already anyway. So obviously a big day getting here and getting guys through physicals and stuff. So, so far looks good.
Any surprises as far as health is concerned, or is everybody healthy coming in as far as you know?
Yeah, as far as I know, I think we're in a good spot.
You know what I liked out of this? He said 80 to 90% of the guys have already been there. You know what that means? And we've talked about this a little bit on my streams. Aaron Judge sets the culture. Aaron Judge is the captain of the team. If Aaron Judge is there, why would anybody feel like they don't need to be there? Now, obviously, everybody has their own responsibilities and families and other commitments. But if Judge is showing up early and Judge lives down there, and of course the Yankees make accommodations for all these guys. Some of these guys probably have their own places to stay down there too if they've been there for a while. The biggest thing I got from that was that Boone said 80 to 90% of the team has already been there. Clip that. Let's keep it rolling. Stoner Detective is in here. Yankee Girl says, I bet you can't wait until spring training and opening day. Well, spring training is upon us now. The games are coming up, and I'm still booking my trip. I'm still looking at when I can get down there and when I can actually go. I just had a lot of moving parts and things going on, but I plan on going. But yeah, let's keep it rolling with what Aaron Boone had to say. So that was the first one that came out of there. And I think it's a positive, at least for now. Like Stanton isn't hurt. Nobody started throwing and hurt their arm, their shoulder, their lat, their elbow. And then the fact that 80 to 90% of the guys are already there and been down there and nobody's hurt, it's good. I'm telling you, they believe in their culture. They believe in the chemistry, camaraderie, and cohesion. Those are the 3 letters. Really, it's 4, culture, but the 3 C-letter words, chemistry, camaraderie, and cohesion of the group, and that's what led them to bringing the same team back. You can hate on it if you want, but I think this is a very poignant point that Paul Goldschmidt made, and we're on the precipice of seeing if they are wrong or if they're right. So Paul Goldschmidt had this to say.
Feels like the Yankees are going with the run it back mentality this year. How close do you feel like you guys are with this similar roster?
It may be similar. There's definitely going to be different pieces. It's a different year. It's all different. So I think nothing from last year carries over this year either. You know, we got to earn every single win. We got to earn our way into the playoffs, and hopefully we can do that. So I think that's probably the mindset: is get to work. You got to, you know, be ready, put in the work in spring training, prepare for the season, and go out there and play every single game. And we have a talented roster, but the game's not played on paper. There's a lot of other great teams out there, and you know, our job's to go out there and play better than them.
So just that, right? Paul Goldschmidt is the latest addition, but not really addition. Paul Goldschmidt is the latest contract or move, and you know he is part of the run it back philosophy, and he said it best. It's a different year. It's all different. Nothing from last year carries over to this year. We've got to earn our way into the playoffs. Hopefully, we can do that. There was another quote that I'm going to pull up from him that I thought was great. I don't think there's audio on it, but it was written. He said, "It's an amazing organization, amazing guys in that clubhouse. I can't say enough great things. The goal here is to win a championship. That's what we all want to do." Now, I think it was maybe hit my notes, my handy dandy notes. Aaron Boone, Judge. No. It was basically Paul Goldschmidt talking about if we win, that's one thing. If we lose, it's another thing. Like, I don't know. I don't have the audio on it, but I got to find this. I can go to my notes here. I can go to, I think it was Gary Phillips. Yeah, let me go to Gary Phillips' page on Twitter because this is 100% exactly right. I'm so over all the talk. I'm so over all the crybaby ass fans. I'm so over all of the noise around the Yankees are running it back. They didn't improve the team. The Yankees are running it back. This is the same team that lost in the divisional round. The Yankees are running it back. They're not going to be better than last year. You don't know that. I don't know that. They don't know that. But like, how many years do we cry about different lineups? How many years do we talk about, you know, players being signed that were duds, swinging and missing on guys, right? Adding guys like Josh Donaldson to the team. Not it. They didn't have too many holes to fill. And they believe in the camaraderie, the cohesion, and chemistry of the team. Okay, here it is. This is the exact quote. Paul Goldschmidt on the Yankees running it back with a similar roster. If we play well, it'll be a good thing. If we don't, then it'll probably be said that that's the reason we didn't play again. Let me try that again. If we play well, it'll be a good thing. If we don't, then it'll probably be said that that's the reason we didn't play well. Everyone knows what the Yankees are about. Everyone knows the expectations that the franchise, that the fan base has. Sorry, I was rubbing my eyes and now I can't read. The ownership, front office, the players here. This is the organization where it's championship or bust every year. And that's not going to change whether it's a similar group to last year or a complete new group. So the messaging hasn't changed. The mission statement hasn't changed. The expectations haven't changed, and neither has the team. Clip that. Let's see. Jersey Flo just checked in. What's going on, man? Just watched Aaron Boone speak. Happy to be back to baseball. Let's see. Yeah, Goldie came back. $4 million for Goldie. I like Goldie. Seems like he can be a leader. Sort of like Gardy. Sure. Couldn't care less if they get along in the clubhouse. Go out there and win a championship. No BS. Yeah, but like, it helps. It helps. You're going to go harder for somebody you like. You're going to go harder for somebody you're friends with. You're going to go harder for guys that you have a relationship with. So like, I got to disagree. Now, have teams won that don't have that type of vibe? Yeah. But, you know, use the Mets, for example, last year. That was a clubhouse divided. So much so they literally redid the team. They moved on from franchise legends like Pete Alonso, fan favorites like Brandon Nimmo and Jeff McNeil. And there was rumors about political differences. There were rumors about just, you know, their clubhouse not gelling. So I think there is something to be said about the chemistry. In basketball, they use that all the time because basketball is so free flowing, and you guys, watch basketball. You got to know where the next guy is going to be on the court and all this stuff. I just think that there is some value in running it back with the group. Keith, it was divided with Soto when we made it to the World Series. Yeah, but some people tell you that was a cakewalk to the World Series. I don't remember it being divided with Soto. Who was divided? Where was the division? Anyway, let's keep it rolling. From Yankees videos, more from what Aaron Boone had to say in the press conference. So after he talked about the health of the team, he talked about the guys that aren't necessarily healthy right now. But you're not really thinking about them as far as them being right today. We know that they're going to come back in some weeks and months. So here's Aaron Boone, who provides updates on Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon.
With Carlos and Garrett, how far into their throwing programs are they, and how have they kind of responded to the offseason and everything coming back from their surgeries?
Yeah, good. They're pretty far into it, especially Carlos. He's probably not far behind, from the start of the season. And then as far as Garrett, I think he's thrown a number of pens already in California. I think he's scheduled to begin lives in a couple of weeks, and then, could potentially, even get in some game action by the end of spring. We'll see how all that shakes out and if we want to do that or not. But both have done well.
With Carlos and Garrett, how far into their throwing programs are they, and how have they kind of...
Okay. So with Garrett Cole, he's thrown a number of pens already. He's scheduled to begin lives in a couple weeks. I also read a report about Cole that he might do some bullpens, and he could even potentially see some game action in spring training late because, here we go. These guys don't throw the whole game. So how sick would that be for Cole to come back and actually appear in spring training, actually throw an inning in spring training? I think, was it last year that he got pulled from spring training? Yeah, and then it was like, uh-oh. So Gary Phillips, shout out to Gary too. Aaron Boone said Garrett Cole could start throwing live BP in a couple weeks and perhaps graduate to game action by the end of spring training. Wow. Wow. I don't know. That should make you feel good about things. That should make you feel like money in the bank. About to have the 2023 Cy Young winner back. About to have Garrett Cole back. And you can never have enough pitching, and more pitching. So, good to hear that Cole is back, and I keep saying I hope he comes back with a robo arm. Henry, what up, man? I see you in the chat. And Stoner, I appreciate you, bro. You got a wrench next to your name. You can disagree. That's the whole spirit of debate. If you don't think that chemistry matters, that's how you feel. I am leaning into chemistry does matter because division can break up teams. And if you're playing with guys that you don't care about as much, you don't go to war the same way. You don't go to battle with them the same way when you're not invested as much. I feel like this is a connected group, and I hope that it translates to on the field. Tigers, Mariners, and Blue Jays have better rosters than the Yankees. Okay. On paper. We'll see them when we see them. I know a lot of Yankees fans overreact with this Yankees team, but fail to realize this same team won 94 games last season. Without Cole, Volpe was terrible, a closer who blew 80 games. Yeah, just under 80. I would say he blew like 70 games. But no, yes. I mean, I can even take it a step further. Jonathan Loáisiga sucked. Mark Leiter Jr. sucked. Luke Weaver sucked. And Devin Williams did blow at least 10 games. I think the Devin Williams counter I was using on the fan, I had the games. I could probably go back to my notes and find, like, I don't know if I could find Devin Williams. It's probably a screenshot. Devin Williams blown, if I write that. Devin Williams blown games. I had the dates. Devin Williams tracker. I literally was on air, like, tracking it. I got to go back and find it. But there was there was a point in the season where I was like, yo, I literally have the info on the games that Devin Williams, where the Yankees had a lead and Devin Williams entered the game and gave the game up. I got to find that in my notes. I don't have time to do it right now on the live, but that's a fun exercise because that itself can be used as a chip this year. That itself could be like, yo, if David Bednar doesn't blow those games, we're better. And then you also said Volpe, right? Volpe had a torn shoulder, and they played him every single day, and he led the league in errors, and he struck out a ton, and he couldn't hold on to his bat, and they just kept running him out there, kept playing him. We believe in Volpe. He's going to come out of it until they couldn't. And then they traded for Caballero, and they had to, give him a shot and shut him down. So trust me, if anybody knows, and then without Garrett Cole, right? You had to get starts from Marcus Stroman last year. You had to get starts from Carlos Carrasco last year. Will Warren had to make a ton of starts last year as a rookie. Like, you didn't have Luis Heel. Luckily, we did have Clark Schmidt. But the list goes on about how this team can be better. The list goes on about how they can improve. DJ LeMahieu will not be taking any at-bats and will not be letting any ground balls go through at second base. Jazz won't be playing out of position, making errant throws across the diamond because he's not really a third baseman. I am scouring my WFAN show notes from last season to try to find this Devin Williams blown games counter. I literally had the dates and the scores when he entered the game in one note, but my notes are all ordered off of like dates. So I searched Devin Williams, and I don't know if I could find it, but that is such a chip to use. Like, bro, look at all these games Devin Williams blew on his own. I will find it. Maybe we'll do another stream tomorrow after I find it. But let's continue on here with Aaron Boone stuff. Oh, perfect. So Johnny BS Swell 27, thanks for the super chat. What do I think about IKF's comments? I can't field. Isaiah Connor-Falefa. Listen, he is a Yankee fan. I did this on my stream last night. He's a whole Yankee fan. We have pictures of him and his pops as a kid in the bleachers. He loves the Yankees. It didn't work out for him here, but whatever. This is a guy looking for attention. This is a guy looking to ingratiate himself with the fan base. This is a guy that had to stick his neck out, I guess, to make news because nobody would have cared about them signing IKF this late in the offseason. So for those of you that aren't aware, which most of you are probably aware, IKF says the Jays were glad to face easier Yankees in the playoffs, right? Isaiah Connor-Falefa says the Blue Jays were glad to face the Yankees over the Red Sox in the ALDS because they were the easier matchup. And if you can see here, this is on Dugout Report. And if you could see my comment, I responded and said, I was glad he got thrown out at home plate in the World Series. That'll be forever. That's your most famous moment, IKF. I can't field. They'll remember that for a long time, buddy. So just hush up. What I'll also say is there goes the bulletin board material. You want some bulletin board material for this run it back season? You want to piss the Yankees off, Aaron Judge off? Guys are going to remember that. And there's obviously already a dynamic of, okay, Aroldis Chapman is over there. You guys remember him? There's already a dynamic of Sonny Gray is over there. You guys remember him? Oh, and they just traded for Caleb Durbin, who this time last year got traded for Devin Williams. But a couple weeks before that, Brian Cashman was telling you that he projected to be the second baseman for the Yankees and that, we were thinking Jazz was going to play third, and Cashman was just doing that to get his, value up. Let the rivalry heat up because the rivalry has kind of lacked its juice, and I would like to see this rivalry be one where we can get some of those classic moments. If they got to fight, they got to fight. You know what I'm saying? If if we can get the Yankees Red Sox rivalry to have some mojo and some juice where they go into this and they say, okay, heard what you said, heard what you was talking about. Let's see if you can walk the walk to match that talk. Then so be it. Here's Aaron Boone on IKF, right? On I Can't Field, on Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who the Yankees thought could be their shortstop. Here's what Aaron Boone had to say about it. And Boone, I think, took a classy route, as he usually does. He could have said more, but he said enough. So here's Booney today talking about what Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had to say.
IKF told Red Sox reporters that the Blue Jays were hoping to see you guys in the playoffs last year because they thought you were an easier matchup. How do you feel about that?
I guess he was right. A little surprising to hear IKF say that, but whatever, that's fine. I mean,
Whatever, though.
not really, honestly. I mean,
Whatever, though. Whatever.
you got to play who you play.
You got to play who you play. That's how it lined up, buddy. The Red Sox lost, and you went and signed with them. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. Anywho, moving right along here. So, whatever, IKF is on the Red Sox, but like I said, again, there is an added layer to the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry this year. The Yankees are the first team in history to come back from down 0-1 in the wild card series. We knocked them off. Cam Schlittler from Boston talked the talk and walked the walk. He dominated them on the Yankees' road to beating and defeating Boston after Garrett Crochet was masterful. There's that layer of Cam Schlittler being from Boston and being a whole Yankee now. Aroldis Chapman, who most Yankee fans see in their nightmares, is their closer now. And I think Chapman just got rated the #1 reliever in baseball. Sonny Gray, who also some Yankee fans see in their nightmares. Oh, both Chapman and Sonny Gray smiled. They came off the mound like, I suck. We didn't forget. And now Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who was the stopgap shortstop and then turned into a utility guy, punch and Judy hitter. He signed with them. He's talking trash. And then quietly, Caleb Durbin, former Yankee prospect who was traded for Devin Williams. Clearly, the Yankees won that trade because the Brewers already flipped him. He might be playing third base for them with a chip on his shoulder against the Yankees. So get us back to the rivalry, and hopefully it adds some more juice. Clip that. And when you hear me say CLIP and THAT, that is a prompt for the AI generator in StreamYard so that my clips, when I put them on social media, I don't have to go search for them. I can just go right back to the back end and get that from StreamYard when we're done. Okay, we're not done. More from Aaron Boone's press conference, but thank you for the super chat and bringing that up. Here is, and now, Yankees, they do a great job. This is an SNY account, but they do a great job with the Yankees. It's at SNY Yankees videos. They're on top of it. I use a lot of their stuff on WFAN. I use a lot of their stuff in my notes. And, speaking of injuries, a lot of people are thinking, hey, is Stanton hurt? Right? My boy Ryan was like, he's a ticking time bomb. It's only a matter of time. No, they said Stanton is full go. He's good. He's healthy. So here is Aaron Boone on Giancarlo Stanton. Quickly, short, to the point.
Where are things at with Giancarlo? Do you expect him to be full ready to go?
Yeah, he should be good.
Simple as that. Yeah, he should be ready to go. No elbow, tennis elbow. Just it is what it is. So, is your whole fam a Yankees fan? Because of me, yes. My uncle, I think, claims to be a Met fan, but he's down in Florida. I always tell people I did this. I became a Yankee fan, and my mom, my sister followed. Rest in peace to my brother. He would have been a Yankee fan on his own. but he got more into it because of me. My pops is a Yankee fan, but he did that on his own. He didn't raise me to be a Yankee fan. Yeah, my whole family is Yankee fans. Oh, and then of course, is your wife and son a Yankee fan like you? Yes, my beautiful wife, her dad raised her a Yankee fan. And fun fact about me is I was always poor and popped and didn't have enough money to go to the stadium. And when I started dating my wife in college, she noticed how I didn't miss a game, how I was always watching the game at night and on the weekends, whatever we were doing stopped around, hey, we got to go watch the game, whether we're going to a bar or we're going back home. And so she actually brought me to my first Yankee game, bought tickets for my birthday. And you wife a girl like that up. You know, a girl that's thinking like that, you wife her up, especially because what I tell my wife all the time is, well, like, you know, when you're poor, you don't think about going to Yankee Stadium because it's expensive. When you go look at the tickets, it's like, God, like to sit in a good seat is $200 plus. And then to get food and drinks in there, you got to spend $200. And then whether you're taking the train or parking, like you got to pay for a train ticket, subway, or if you're driving, put gas in the car, pay 40 plus bucks for parking. Like when I was young, I did not even have $100 available to spend. So with my wife, who was working at a restaurant and putting money to the side, she changed my life because I always wanted to be a part of it. But I'll always remember that first time being in the stadium and hearing the announcements and seeing the team run out. And, you know, when the strikeout sound plays, a PC Richardson, I look to my wife and I'm like, I'm inside the TV. And she's like, no, you're inside the stadium. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I felt like for the first time ever, like I broke that wall down from something I had watched on TV so much. So shout out to Nicole McPherson. And of course, our son Jackson McPherson is a Yankee fan. He says his favorite sport is baseball. He's not even 3 years old yet, but he's been to spring training 3 years in a row. We're looking to make it 4, and he's got a ton of Yankee hats and stuff. And he's definitely a Yankee boy. He's been to a few games at the stadium, and I plan on bringing him up a Yankee fan, and I hope that he continues to watch baseball and watch the Yankees and be into it, because I didn't have it passed down to me. There's so many fans that I'm like, yo, you were taught. You took a full-on course by your dad, by your uncles, by your brothers, your cousins on the Yankees. They taught you about the Yankees generation after generation. I had to do my own research. I was watching Yankee Classic. John Sterling was kicking me the information. But like to give that to my son will be so much further ahead of the game with me being able to bestow upon him all of the things about the Yankees that I've learned over the years. So here's Aaron Boone again talking about Paul Goldschmidt and talking about his role as a late addition, but a good addition for the money that they're spending on Goldie. You can't be mad at it. I know I'm not. I hope Goldie still got something left in the tank. So here's Aaron Boone on Paul Goldschmidt.
Coming back, what kind of role do you see him in now, and how might that affect some other guys on the team?
Goldschmidt? Yeah. Well, first and foremost, like I'm thrilled to get him back. You know, I mean, just one of the best people I've ever had the chance to manage, and he was so good in our room. Such a good performer on the field. You know, obviously, you know, what he was against left-handed pitching last year, and coupled with the moves we made at the deadline last year to you know, have more of a presence against left-handed pitching with all our left-handed hitters. You know, he balances out our roster so much. So as far as playing, we'll see. You know, I think he's prepared for anything. Obviously, Ben Rice is going to get, you know, has earned that, you know, even next step, even after having 550 plate appearances last year for Benny. You know, I'm hoping that even goes up this year. But I see Goldie playing a big role, even if we are all healthy, but more of a role player if we're all healthy. But, you know, as things can change on a dime at any point, and it changes the role a little bit.
I love it. I think the biggest thing that I took from what Aaron Boone said right there was that Ben Rice had 550 plate appearances last year, and he expects that number to go up. So Paul Goldschmidt at $4 million a year will have a role, but I think he's insurance. I think he is a guy that's also going to help Ben Rice get better at first base and be available to pinch hit late in games, depending on matchups. And he's a professional hitter, and you keep him fresh that way. And you heard Aaron Boone speak to his character. He says he's one of the best guys he's been around. So, with that being said, it goes back to the run it back, camaraderie, the chemistry, the cohesion of the group. It goes back to let's bring back good guys that have a solid bond and respect in the room. And I can't be mad about that. I know people, pick and choose what they're mad about, but I can't be mad about that. So speaking of, the Yankees being healthy, and we know around baseball, other teams are not. What's going on with these players breaking their hands? Carroll, Holiday, I hear Lindor as well. So yeah, you've got all three, and it is a crazy coincidence, but it's a baseball injury. People are like, is this the new Achilles like in basketball? Is this the new ACL in football? Yeah, the hamate bone. It's in the palm of your hand, and Jeff Passan writes, for those unfamiliar, the hamate bone, which could cause Corbin Carroll, Francisco Lindor, and Jackson Holiday to miss opening day, is a small hook-shaped bone on the palm just underneath the pinky that is particularly susceptible to breaking. While the recovery is typically 4 to 6 weeks, hitters who undergo the surgery to fix it often talk about how their power takes months to return. It's not like a soft tissue injury. The return timeline on hammates is fairly straightforward. The time to full health, however, can be longer. And then you see the update about Corbin Carroll. So with these guys, the hamate bone right here, if you think about it, especially on your left hand, I think it's on these guys, glove hand, and when they hold the bat, it's their bottom hand. So it's your hand that stays on the bat as you power through. Ouch. But it's one of those things that as you start swinging and fielding ground balls again, and these are all infielders, Corbin Carroll's an outfielder, you start to notice. You start to, I don't know, it flares up, and you've got to get that addressed. And so they're addressing it, and hopefully that doesn't become something that has to deal with the Yankees, that the Yankees have to deal with. I remember Francisco Alvarez dealing with it last year. He got hit by pitch in the hand, and he slid into second base and got hurt, where it was like, well, damn, bro, can't catch a break. But again, the Yankees are all healthy. I repeat, the Yankees are all healthy. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. All right, let me see something. Am I not live on Twitter, bro? What the fuck? I'm like, where's my Twitter live? Okay, my Twitter is live. There we go. But I'm not seeing it on my main page. Let's see, post this. Rocking until 1 p.m. Boom. All right. Now we're back, and let's go to just the next thing that Boone had to say. Yankees videos. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, boom. So we talked about the hamate bone. And, you guys in the chat that are throwing things in the chat, you can kind of get me to go to a different direction. Good afternoon. You can kind of get me to go to a different direction if, like Johnny's throwing super chats. And obviously, I always say super chat, you take the preference. That's the reason you throw a super chat. I try my best to treat every Yankees game as a top priority. I want to be first in line when the gates open. It's therapy. Some people don't get it. Bro, you're talking to the guy. You're talking to a guy that you don't have to explain none of that to me. I've been first in line multiple times, but usually only when there's a bobblehead giveaway. Before I was in the media and before I made a name, before I had any followers, I used to get to the stadium super early with my ticket and wait in line. I'm blessed now that I don't have to wait in line. There are multiple ways for me to get into the stadium without waiting in line. I won't reveal the 3 ways that I know. Like, I ain't waiting in line. We're good. Hey, you with me? Come right here. But it is therapy. It's nightly therapy. Life is hard. Work is tough. The world is crazy. But for 3 hours a night from April through October, Monday through Friday for the most part, you know that you can watch a baseball game and you can lock in on every pitch, every out, every at bat, every play, and you're locked in with millions of other Yankee fans. And I'll say that to say this, like, I cannot wait for this season. I actually have a video that I'm putting together from my stream last night where I talk about, this season coming up, because this is going to be a different season for me. This is going to be the first season that I don't have to go to WFAN after the games at night. It's the ninth inning, last out on 1 foot out the door, and I'm running to my car. Because if you get stuck in the parking lot or you get gridlocked in there and you got to be on the radio, I had it down to a science. I'm also getting too old for that. I had it down to a science where I would be, looking at Waze, right? And usually it's a 35-minute ride from the Bronx to WFAN. And like clockwork, from the last out until the start of my show, it's an hour. So I have an hour to get my ass out of the stadium, into the car, drive down the Harlem River Drive or whatever way they send me, the West Side Highway, safely, park at WFAN, go upstairs, set up my MacBook, plug in my headphones, put my mic sleeve on, have my notes together, which all game I'm taking notes, I'm writing stuff down, I'm looking at the box score. That will not be a thing this season. What I will do this season, and I hope that those of you that are watching on Twitter and YouTube will join me, KM to AM will be rebranded as a new nightly show that I'm going to do after the games. We'll stream some of the games. Some nights I'll need off depending on family and sleep and different things. But KM to AM will literally be, hey, after the game, we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about what's coming the next day from probably 10:30 to midnight every night. So KM to AM right here in this little studio I have in my apartment will be post-game show, Yankees post-game show, and that will also go to podcast. So looking forward to this season, man. I am very much looking forward to this season. Let me hit you with the next audio clip from Aaron Boone, and then I'll get to you guys in the chat. I just saw a couple more people in the chat too. I can rock till like 103, 102. I'm just going to listen to the K-Stir one. I want to hear what K's got to say after the Yankees opening press conference with manager Aaron Boone. So I hit you with IKF. Okay, here's Aaron Boone on how he feels about the AL East this year, and then I'll tell you how I feel about the AL East this year. Hit it, Booney.
Pretty much all of your competitors in the AL East made moves of significance that on paper improve them going into the season. How do you evaluate the division this year?
Tough. I feel like I sit up here every year and talk about the AL East, and for good reason. But there's no question that it's going to be tough. I feel like the Red Sox, we started to see them kind of come of age last year, and the pieces they've had some attrition too, but feel like they have a chance to be an outstanding club. Obviously, the Blue Jays are the reigning AL champs, and they've made strides to improve. And then Baltimore is the team that, really in the second half of the season was more in line with who they were in 23 and 24. And obviously they've had some people come in. So I think they're going to be a team to reckon with. And the Rays are always tough. So the division's real. We think we're one of those teams that can go out and win it. But again, it's February, and all of us and them all have a long way to go in building what is ultimately a winning and a team capable of winning this division.
It's the best division in baseball. They put 3 teams into the postseason last year. The Yankees should have won the division back-to-back years. They put the team that represented the American League into the World Series back-to-back years. You know what I'm saying? So you know it, I know it, he knows it, we all know it. It is a very competitive division, and it's not going to be cake. It's not going to be easy, but they have the talent to get it done. They have the pitching to get it done. They have the MVP, the best player in the game. So let's bully, let's rock, let's ride, bro. Let's get it, man. I am not afraid of the Red Sox. We definitely owe the Blue Jays some get back. No one should be afraid of the Tampa Bay Rays. At least they're getting back into their building this year, and they don't have to play in our spring training home because that was awkward. And I think you should fear the Blue Jay or the Baltimore Orioles a little bit. They got Pete Alonso now. They got Taylor Ward now, and they already have guys like Gunnar Henderson. We'll see how long Holiday is out, but if they can get their pitching together, they always have a chip on their shoulder to go up against the Yankees. So Amper says, what up? Stoner Detectives. I agree, Keith. The only issue I see is folks get so consumed that it distracts from reality and real-world problems that deserve our attention. I am learning to watch Yankees moderately. Yeah, I would say do less internet. Do less Yankees Twitter. Because nobody can spend their whole day ranting and raving about the Yankees unless you're John Boy, unless you're Keith McPherson, unless you're, you know what I'm saying? Unless you work in the business, you're Joe's McFly. You're the guys from Fireside Yankees. Like, there are a lot of Yankee Twitter people that hate the team, and they're projecting. They hate themselves. They go on ranting and raving all day about every little thing, and it's like, yo, go to work. Go to school. Don't you have a job? Don't you have a kid? Don't you have something to do? Let's see here. Amper says, Cam, what up? Glad Yanks are all healthy so far. You think we got a mid-spring trade coming? Feels like Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones are redundant, plus we know pitchers will get hurt. Also, no shot. JC Escara is the backup catcher. JC Escara is the backup catcher. Aaron Boone actually spoke on Ben Rice catching, so I'll go to that after this. And what I'll say is Jason Dominguez playing left field for the Rail Riders with Spencer Jones in center field, that is problems for AAA pitchers. They ought to dominate down there. But do I smell a trade coming? I don't. But they could. What are you guys looking for? Who do you want them to trade for? They filled out the roster so much so that Jason Dominguez has to start in AAA. Spencer Jones has to start in AAA. There was a thought in the beginning of the offseason that if they didn't get Cody Bellinger back, those two could compete for left field. That's not going to happen, right? Remember Cashman said worst case scenario, those two young guys will go at it. They're not gonna. So who are they going to trade for? A right-handed catcher? That's the only gripe that I have. We're going to go another year with 3 left-handed catchers. 3 options. Austin Wells being the only option worries me because Austin Wells last year, I don't know. I'm hoping that he steps into his dad strength, his dad gang era, and I'm hoping that he gets right. But hope is not a strategy. Hope we continues. I'm tired of hoping with the Yankees. It's always hope. It's always a new hope. Like, go get a right-handed catcher, bro. JC Escara, I keep hearing about, JC Escara can hit. Don't sleep on JC Escara. We saw it last year. Like, what did he do last year? We saw enough of a sample size last year, and last year was a cute story for Good Morning America, a former substitute teacher, Uber driver, but this is the New York Yankees. Get the best players. We don't need any more cute stories. 100% JC is the backup. There's no one else, and he calls a great game. People will have to accept that fact. That's what I'm saying. I've had to accept it, but that's what I'm saying. What do you want in a trade? Go trade for a right-handed catcher that's better than JC Escara. They need a right-handed hitting backup. Wells is left-handed. Agreed. Doesn't appear to be the Yankees' priority. It's not. Ray says the stadium staff is nice and they do not make me wait online. Good. They shouldn't, Ray. They shouldn't. Like I said, you already know what it is. Here, looking forward to it, right? See you there is what I meant. Yeah, I'll see you at the stadium this year. I'll come find you. CK, if Trent Grisham stinks it up, who replaces him at center field? Cody Bellinger. And then I don't know. Like, they could stick Oswaldo Cabrera in left field. They could call up Dominguez or Spencer Jones. They could. We're about to see. We're about to see who looks like what in spring training, and that will make a lot of the early decisions. If Trent Grisham regresses or has a hamstring injury or another injury and gets hurt, I think they will put Cody Bellinger in center field, and then you'll see Dominguez or Spencer Jones in left. And not for nothing, don't forget about Cabrera. He's played out there. They might want to throw him in there too. I'm not saying that's what I would do. Johnny B. Wells. Of course, Johnny B. Wells. Thank you for the 2 super chats, not just 1. Okay. So as we approach this last 10 minutes here, I'll go to 102. Let's pull up Boone talking about Ben Rice. Well, first we'll share this part. Share from my guy, Gary Phillips, who's been doing a great job down there covering your New York Yankees as we're talking about the catching spot. So Aaron Boone said, that's what I'm going to do probably to I'm going to do if I can clear it with my guys from Pinstripe Strong, we used to do Boone said. We never made a segment. I want to make a segment out of it called #Boone said. Aaron Boone said Ben Rice could catch a little bit more, if only marginally, with Paul Goldschmidt back. That'll depend on how the roster shakes out, among other factors. Rice is expected to primarily play first base and regularly against lefties. So the quote was, I think Benny's going to definitely be planning to get the bulk of playing time over there at first. And I'm definitely fine with whatever role they need me to do. And that's Paul Goldschmidt, knowing that he's up there in age. How old is Goldie now? 36? Paul Goldschmidt age. He's 38. Paul Goldschmidt. He older than me. Maybe they try Spencer Jones or Jason. Yes. But, like, those guys got to hit. Judge is going to the World Baseball Classic. So there's going to be a spot open for people to impress in spring training. Like, don't be surprised if you see Belly in right field, which we did see Belly in right field a lot in spring training last year. Trent Grisham in center, and Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones in left field, trying to, fight for, that fourth outfielder spot. CJ, what's up? Let's go. Chase for 28. It's got to happen this year. I went on a rant about protecting our own history. If it's the Dodgers and we got to stop them from a three-peat, we got to stop them from a three-peat. It's a 16-year drought. We're about to, hit 17 years, which I believe is going to, put us right at the longest drought in history. 18 would be the tiebreaker. We don't want to get there. We don't want this drought to continue because Judge is getting another year older. Stanton is another year older. Cole is another year older. You know what I'm saying? We have to figure out how to get back to the World Series representing the American League and win this year. So Chase for 28, like, why can't it be and I got to read this article now, but you guys just prompted this. CJ just prompted this thought about Chase for 28. Why can't they win it? They're running it back. They feel like they should have been where the Blue Jays were. No, this isn't what I want to share. I got to log into my Athletic account. This is it right here. Oh, and I just noticed Ben and his family on there. That's awesome. I wonder if he saw that yet. Brendan Cuddy, BK, my guy. The Yankees are in a 16-season World Series drought, tied for the second longest in club history. Parents who passed on being diehard fans to their kids hope it ends soon. It feels like forever. So, what's the Yankees' longest drought between World Series? I think 18 is the number. I think 18 will tie it. So if we don't win this year, it's 17, and then bum. Yeah, 18 seasons. 18 seasons. That's scary, man. It's not something you want to live through right now, right? Because like the article is saying, the Yankees, their whole brand and business is built off of winning championships. You know what I'm saying? They are they are the World Series champions. Hey, sorry about that. I literally used like the trackpad, and the trackpad, I was moving something and it kicked me out of the whole tab. But what I was trying to do was this. I was trying to bring this up. 18 seasons. We're at 16 right now. And we don't want to get to 18 because then you'll be able to say you lived through that drought. And what I fear, and it's a nightmare. What I fear is that this young generation of Yankee fans is going to say we lived through the longest drought and we never saw a World Series. Like, there are young Yankee fans, they don't remember 2009, but they'll remember this long drought. New York Yankees' longest World Series drought. 18 seasons from 1979 through 1995. It's a long time. It's a long time. Total gap, 18 seasons without a championship. That was their longest stretch without winning a World Series. Current drought since 2019 is 16 seasons and counting. Here comes 17. And so if we don't win this year and we don't win in 2027, we have matched that drought. And it's hard to do. So the Yankees got to figure this shit out, man. The Yankees got to figure this shit out, man. All right, I'll take questions for the rest of the way. I think you guys have hit or heard from everything that Aaron Boone had to say. Let me double check that in case I'm leaving out something critical, something. Popularity is at an all-time high now, everyone. Yeah, he talked about the World Baseball Classic, everybody wanting to play. That's the last one I'll share with you guys, and then we'll get out of this live stream. So, obviously, everybody, there's a lot of Yankees playing in the World Baseball Classic. I thought about going to a World Baseball Classic. I don't think I'm going to do it, though. I'm not. But just, everything I do, I got to weigh, like, do I want to bring my baby? I don't. I don't want the headache of bringing my kids. So here's Aaron Boone on the World Baseball Classic, where I think there's like 8 Yankees playing.
Do you think that there's an extra energy or excitement in the spring when it's a World Baseball Classic year?
I mean, we have so many guys involved in it, so there's that, and especially the captain going. So that's, and I know he's very excited about it. And you know, I have two of my coaches going to be a part of it. So we have a number of guys going. So it definitely makes for a more unique spring training. Tough to say on the buzz. I think the WBC going into this year is probably at an all-time high in its popularity. I feel like that popularity's kind of been growing every few years. And I feel like it's reached the level for the U.S. team now. Not that, I mean, they've won it in the past and they've had great players, but now it seems like everyone wants to kind of play. And kind of like we've seen with the Dominican, Japan, Puerto Rico, you know, some of these teams that it feels like that level now for the U.S. And, I know personally I'll be probably tuning it in quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to it. And obviously I have a different level of interest because we do have so many players involved and a couple coaches that are involved heavily. So I think it's a great thing for our sport, and I'm expecting a very entertaining and exciting WBC that hopefully is filled with good health.
Okay, so this that I just looked up, Last Word on Sports claims that there's 16 Yankees playing. And I know there were some late additions like Wells, I think Camilo Duvall, but 16 is a lot. Obviously, you've got Judge, David Bednar, Camilo Duvall, Austin Wells, Ahmed Rosario. Forgot about Ahmed Rosario. Jazz Chisholm. Are you guys seeing this? Am I sharing this properly? I am, but it's not zoomed in enough. And I hate all these damn pop-ups. Bro, get the fuck out of here with all these pop-ups. Not can of corn. Talking about all these pop-ups, these pop-up ads. So you got Jazz, Team Israel Harrison Cohen, a Yankees reliever prospect. That doesn't count. Jose Caballero is going to play for Panama. Fernando Cruz for Puerto Rico. Elmer Rodriguez for Puerto Rico, another prospect. So that's a lot. That's a high number. That's a lot of players that you're gonna need. That's a lot of players that you're gonna be counting on that are gonna be playing high leverage baseball, ramping it up to that level in March. What's up, KM? What's your thoughts on Matt Nagy as the Giants OC? Great. And then Brian Callahan as the quarterbacks coach. You've got 3 former head coaches in the building. You've got the old Ravens coach. You've got the old Titans coach. You've got the old Bears coach. And why I think that's valuable is they bring a world of knowledge to meetings, to practice, from all of those experiences being the CEO, and they can delegate and they can help in a lot of different ways. So got to use a browser extension to block pop-ups. I get no ads on anything I visit, including YouTube. I use Google Chrome, and there's this pop-up thing, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's all I've got. I want to go listen to Caster now. But thanks for the super chats. Thanks for liking and watching. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and bang that for the algorithm. If you're on Twitter, I don't think there's really much you can do on Twitter. Elon Musk's little streaming on there is not that great. At least you can. For me, it's like I've got 40,000 plus subscribers or followers versus my 3,000 subscribers. So being able to stream on YouTube as well as Twitter is dope. So yeah, thanks for watching. Quick little recap of what Aaron Boone had to say and a little update as now we're underway. Everybody is reporting to spring training and baseball season is upon us, and we back and we back and we back. Stay up, stay blessed, and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I'm out.